Hi everyone, welcome to Tony Fox Tarot. Thanks for joining me today. Great to have you with me. So we're looking at how the other person thinks about you today, and we'll also look at how they feel and what their circumstances are, what's going on for them at this point in time, and how do you think and feel about them? What's the connection between the both of you? So lots to get through, and before we get started, if you would like to go down below and hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon while you're there. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. Please like and share this video where you can. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is that you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Now, before you on the screen, we've got 5 different cards, and the idea is to choose a card that resonates most clearly with you. Perfectly fine to choose more than one card if it comes through really strongly. And just remember, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave behind anything that doesn't. We've got card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4, and card 5. Now, to get you in the mood to make a choice of your card, a quick guided meditation. So feet firmly on the ground and taking in a single nice deep breath. And as you release the breath, just letting go of any tension that you might be holding from within, clearing the mind and focusing in on the screen before you with the 5 different cards. Which of these cards resonates most strongly for you? Is it card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4, or card 5? Down below, there are 5 different timestamps representing each of these different cards. If you would like to go to your card, I'll be with you in a moment. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 1. This is your reading, and today we're looking at how the other person thinks of you. So it's through their eyes and their interpretation of who you're all about. And we've got the cards on the table, so we're ready to go. And I think if I come down here, which is more about the other person, and up here is more about you. So the top line is you, and the bottom line is this person. This is how they see you. This is kind of who they are. If I come down here to the High Priestess and the 5 of Cups, I feel like there has been quite a strong connection between the two of you. And I can also see it up here with the Chariot and the 2 of Pentacles. There's something very orbital about the both of you kind of being really drawn into each other's worlds that it's been very impactful, very strong attraction there. There's a lot in common too. I think the two of you get along really well. You share a lot of similar traits or values. I think maybe also you're very focused on similar things in terms of what you want out of life. But if I come back down here to the High Priestess and the 5 of Cups, I feel this person is really uncertain about where things are going in terms of you and them. The High Priestess is a card of the future, so they're looking through into the future about who you are and where things are going with you. 5 of Cups is a card of disappointment and grief to some degree. I feel that there's maybe there's been, for some of you, a bit of a fallout between the two of you. Things have become very uncertain for this person. They just don't know what's going on and whether things can recover in a way where the two of you are back on the same page in terms of feeling each other through on more of an emotional level. This person is definitely really keen on you. But if I come up here to the Chariot and the 2 of Pentacles, these 2 cards really are very much about how they sort of see you in terms of the initial impact. And this is very strong. You've made a very strong impression on them. They think that you're very strong-minded, very driven too towards success. I think they see you as somebody who knows what they want, and your ability to sort of really drive yourself towards getting exactly that. You don't mince words, you don't muck about. You know, I think they see you as being very focused on really, I would have said, to be honest with you, I would have said that they feel in many ways that you're playing the field a bit. Perhaps that you've got more than one thing on the boil. The 2 of Pentacles is definitely about diversification of opportunities, okay? The Chariot is a card of focus. It's about drive and determination and succeeding according to your will. So once you make your mind up and you power yourself towards your goals, you achieve them. But you've got more than one goal here. And this is how they see you. They see you as somebody who is very capable, very confident, that you're not afraid to speak your mind in any way. But at the same time that you're also playing the field, that you've got more than one thing on the boil in terms of options as far as relationship potentials are concerned. So that's going to have a pretty major impact on this person. They're very sensitive. This is a very sensitive individual. They're quite an emotional person. I would have said they're even a little bit psychic, very intuitive. The High Priestess is definitely a card of sense, feeling things out, looking into the future, trying to understand what's going on. It's quite a mysterious card because, you can't really see what's going into the future, but there is definitely an emotional sensitivity that really lends itself towards somebody who's very in tune with what's going on in terms of how they think and how they feel and what's going on in their environment. Yeah, so there's quite a lot going on here. They certainly see you as being somebody who stands out in the crowd, that you make an impact. You're a very attractive person. They certainly see you as being somebody who stands out in the crowd to them. And, I think they're also prepared to position themselves, in your world in a way where you're really at the center of their attention. They're not afraid to compete for what it is that's going on here. They want a piece of this action. They want a slice of you. They want you to see them. The problem is, if we come over here to the Moon and the Five of Pentacles, this is where things become a little bit fumbly, a little bit uncertain for them. They feel, or really, well, they think that, you're really uncertain about who it is that they are. Maybe also that you're a bit below, that they are a bit below your standards, that maybe somehow that you would have to sort of stoop down to them in some ways. The Moon is definitely a card of uncertainty and worry. It's worry about what's up ahead. They're constantly thinking about where all of this is going. Is there a future in this? The Six of Pentacles is a card of sort of charity, really. They're sort of thinking, oh God, does this person see me as being a bit of a charity case? That they're really uncertain about me, that they don't really feel confident about a future with me, and that anything that they do kind of, sort of with me is really out of charity, giving me something just to kind of keep me going in a way. They definitely see you as being a really kind person. Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. That you help other people who are down, who have uncertainty. And I think that comes from them understanding that you're a very confident person who also sees a lot of opportunity around you. You're prepared to jump in and really take control of the situation. That you're a very assertive person, that you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. So there's definitely a sense that this confidence really brushes off on other people. That not only do you stand out in the crowd, but that you're prepared to help other people out, to bring them up in a way where you can help them very, very practically, but also very intuitively as well. There's definitely a strong sense here, though, that they feel somehow that you are better than them, yeah? That you're more confident, that you're more prepared, that you are more capable of exploiting opportunities, of situations, that you stand out in the crowd. This is somebody who kind of waits in the shadows a little bit more. They're a lot more uncertain of themselves. And, they're very intuitive, but they just don't have practical sort of, I don't get, this is not somebody who's street smart, whereas I think you're a bit more street savvy. You're not afraid to kind of just push yourself out there and get into it and kind of figure out what's going on. I think you think on your feet, whereas this person kind of feels things through more intuitively. ultimately, if we come over here to the Magician and the Three of Cups, this person thinks that you are really out for a good time. Okay, maybe to have a bit of fun, or that you're out there partying, or that you're in the mix in terms of being just really more in the moment, acting out of inspiration. And so in that respect, that they think that you aren't looking for a serious, committed anything really, whether this is a relationship or whether this is actually something that's more platonic. For them, they're kind of feeling, that the Magician is all about inspiration. It's about being in the moment, and it's about kind of working with all of your tools, really, all the tools of the trades, all of the tricks of the trades. The Magician has it all out on the table. They're kind of really there in the moment, and they're empowered in a way where they don't need anybody else, they don't need anything else. They're just there to kind of really take hold of what's going on in the here and the now. And the Three of Cups is the party card of tarot, really. I mean, it's really about having fun. Traditionally speaking, it's about, celebration after harvest. But, in the context of where we are now, I mean, this is somebody who sees you as being really kind of just, out there, having some fun, being in the moment, partying with friends, having fun with friends, that your focus, that what you're striking into action really is more about what is available to you in terms of a feel-good factor. Coming down here, back to this person, the Emperor, the Ace of Wands, this is really fundamental to where things are for them right now. They really feel that they want to ignite something with you, and this is not, they certainly feel really sexually attracted to you. I mean, the Ace of Wands is definitely the card to go to in terms of sexual attraction. It's an energetic, spiritualized burst of energy that's all about creativity. And this is a person who feels very strongly about you, both, sexually, but also in terms of wanting to have a new beginning with you, maybe to get over this hurdle that you've been through in a way where it kind of, the Emperor is a card that is very ambitious. It's about striving to reach your goals in many ways, but also it's about structure and putting things in place so that there is a system that actually really helps you to establish a foundation in as much as they want this beginning to take place in a way where it unfolds into the idea of maybe a relationship or something that's a little bit more serious. Coming over here to Justice and the Three of Wands. Justice is really a card, and once again, we're talking about this other person, is a card of looking back to the past and really assessing what's going on. And it's about being honest in as much as you're sort of saying, well, okay, I can fully comprehend and understand everything that's taken place in a way where I'm prepared to make decisions to move forward. And the Three of Wands is a card of, well, it's a card of actually maximizing on an opportunity that is available to you. They want to strike a new beginning into action. They're really motivated by this. They're prepared to look at what's happening in a way where they're very honest with themselves and with you, and they really want to take this to the next level. They see that this connection with you has the potential to go somewhere, and they really want to explore that with you. But at the moment, they're really immersed in this very emotional, very challenging uncertainty that is really shadowed by a really strong perception of your character, that you are somebody who has a really out there, very go-get-em, very driven, confident, successful personality that doesn't see them as being somebody who is on the same level, essentially. And that really that what you're wanting to do is to just kind of, put yourself out there in a way where you're having some fun, and that you're maybe with your friends, or that you're just kind of really taking care of your own needs, that you're essentially not prepared to make any kind of a commitment. But if I come over here to the Two of Pentacles and the Chariot, the Two of Pentacles, this is a card that shows an enormous strength in terms of your bond. You know, this is an opportunity that is divided into two. You can go one way or you can go the other. And in some ways, perhaps you are playing the field a little bit. But this is definitely reflective of the connection that you have between the both of you. And there's this very strong bond. This is what I'm picking up really. It's really coming through very vividly for me. And I see it also reflected down here in the Five of Cups. There's been perhaps some sort of a fallout, maybe, you know, for some of you, but there's definitely still room there to grow into something in terms of exploring what this has to offer. Let's have a look at this. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. This is the card that really sums it all up, yeah? For me, I feel there's something here between the two of you that really needs to be explored, and, you know, that the ball is in your court. You are holding the balance of power, and power is what it's all about. And I think you know that. I think you are driven towards success. I think you are a confident person. I think you can see that this person is very sensitive, and I think that you are playing the field a little bit in a way where you're uncertain as to whether you should go in this particular direction because you don't know where it will actually take you. But there's something here to be explored. I hope this has all made some sense to you, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. Like and share this video, hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon. If you're interested in my services as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. Plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is that you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Just on a final note, releasing videos each and every week to YouTube, so feel free to browse the ones that are already there and have a look out for my future up and coming videos. Take care, guys. Thanks very much. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 2. This is your reading, and today we are looking at what the other person thinks of you. How do they really think of you? So, excuse me, cards are on the table and we're ready to go, and let's jump straight into it. Up the top here we have you, down the bottom here we have the other person, and this is how they see you. And then we'll reflect on who they are and where they're at in contrast with you. Over here to Judgment and the Nine of Swords. And I feel that this person thinks that you aren't sure about a commitment with them. And perhaps, you know, you've been really pressured on this point in a way where you just can't make your mind up one way or the other. So there's a lot of uncertainty in their mind about what you're prepared to actually commit to. They think also that you're still getting over something or someone that's preceded this particular meeting with them. So you're kind of at a crossroads about something that's happened in the past. Judgment's all about making decisions based on our past experiences. And the Nine of Swords is a card of anxiety and fear and lots of worry about the future based on past experiences. So in some ways, perhaps you're at a place where you're not able to see a vision of where things can go for the future with this person. And they really know that in a way where it really stirs their ability to be able to trust you. Okay, so at the moment, they feel that you don't trust them, yeah, because you can't see a future with them. They also feel that somehow that you're not telling them the full picture of what it is that's going on in your world. And maybe they've also been trying to pressure you into giving you some more information or to try and get a deeper understanding as to what's going on for you and how that perhaps affects them. And it forces up a lot of issues between the two of you in a way where they become really worried that you're not giving them the full picture. Can they trust you? They also think that perhaps that you're also going through a time in your life that is preoccupied with other issues that really aren't about them or centering the focus of them in your world. My feeling is here, if I come down here to the World and Ace of Swords, that this person has actually severed the tie with you. Ace of Swords is all about new beginnings, moving on with decisive action. I feel that here with the world, that they've seen great things about what is it they want to have with you. Yeah, that they wanted to reach great heights in terms of having a successful connection with you. But that they feel that there's no place in your world with them, okay? Because there's all of this other stuff that's going on from the past. So they felt reactive to that in a way where they wanted to take control, and so they've cut away, and for them it's about a new beginning. But moving on, what else do they see here? So over here to the Empress and the Ten of Pentacles, they think that you're a really strong person with very broad shoulders, okay? And there's a tendency to give an enormous amount to other people, very, very generous in your nature. The Empress is all about productivity, nurturing, and giving. Ten of Wands is a card of high energy output. It takes things on in a way where it feels that it can really achieve whatever it puts its mind to in some ways, but it's a very hard-working card. This person sees you as being somebody who is very hard-working and highly creative. The Empress has a lot of creative energy, so do the Swords. And the Ten of Swords implies that, not only do you have broad shoulders, but you also have a broad capacity for high output in terms of creativity, but also that you work really, really hard and that you have an enormous amount of energy. So I think that you're a very creative person, very strong in your character, that you have broad shoulders, that you give a lot to other people. The one thing that comes up here that I feel is also very strong is that they see something about your mother. For some of you, this may resonate. For some of you, it may not. But I feel that they see somehow that your mother or a parent figure. I mean, the Empress is traditionally the mother in tarot. And the Ten of Wands is also a card that can block things. Perhaps your mother has had something to say about this particular connection. Perhaps your mother has actually gotten in the way of things proceeding in a constructive, productive way. The other thing I also felt here was the Empress is a card of motherhood and having children. And for you at the moment, you've got a lot going on in terms of the work that you're doing. It seems to be your main focus, very much a priority for you. And so therefore, the idea of having kids at this point in your life is not something that's really at the forefront. It's not right at the top of your priority list. And so for them, they see that this perhaps is a bit of an issue for them, that you're not wanting to have kids. So the whole thing around motherhood, so that could be your mother, or the idea of having children, is certainly something that is very much at the forefront for them. Coming down here to the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Swords. These two cards very much reflect the center point of where this person's at this point in time. They feel really cut out of the picture in terms of where things are going. I think that in some ways they're prepared to take a risk, a gamble, to really get on board with the idea of being with you, but they feel pushed out by you because of other things that are going on in your life. And so in some ways this person feels very manipulated, or at least cut out of the picture in a way where they don't have an equal say to what's going on. That's why they've taken control of the situation. They'd rather cut you out really coldly, yeah, and kind of almost have nothing to do with you in a very clinical way, than be hanging at a loose end, waiting for things to resolve in some way so that things balance out and give them a sense that perhaps this has the potential. So this person definitely feels at the moment that, their hands are tied. They have no constructive input into where things are going in your world. You're preoccupied with work. Perhaps you have a parent figure here who is actually not particularly happy with the idea of this person, but also, that you are at a point in your world where you can't make a commitment and you have a lot of other things that need to be resolved in terms of your personal circumstances before you can even begin to see this person clearly in the picture. The one thing that I will say is that they can also see what it is that you want, okay, as a person, and that you want marriage and commitment with somebody. Okay, that your values are very traditional. So for you, this would be a really formal, I guess, commitment, whether that's marriage or some sort of de facto relationship. But they're definitely seeing you as being somebody who has very traditional values, that you're very romantic, very, very loving, but also that you have some really strong expectations in terms of what somebody else should be all about according to those values. That you would want that person to be really together in a way where they have everything in order to be able to meet you at a level, to be able to make that commitment. Whether that means money, traditional values, where you're at in your career, that you would want somebody who is really, I guess, living up to a high expectation. And for them, excuse me, for them, they feel that they fall very short of that mark. Yeah. That they're nowhere near sort of to where it is that your standards are in some ways. So I do feel also that this person feels that you're looking for a commitment with somebody, but that this is not something that's in the here and now, that you've got other things going on for you that really put the idea of a relationship and, a traditional or more formal commitment really down the bottom of the priority list. So for me, this person here, where is this going? At the end of the day, there is a connection here. And I really do think, if I see here with a Hierophant and the Knight of Cups, I think you actually really have quite sort of well-developed feelings for this person. I think you do want to make a commitment with them in some ways. Perhaps it's not right now, and perhaps you do have things going on in your world that you need to resolve. At the end of the day, for me, I feel that this person will come to a point where they will actually make a decision just to go with the flow. But they will be waiting in the balance for you to feed them something that gives them a sign to say that this has the potential to move forwards. The Lovers is all about intimacy and loving relationships, but it's also about decisions. And the Eight of Wands is a card of news, waiting for good news to come through. This person is going to be in the balance, waiting for you to give them a sign, maybe a text message, maybe a call, maybe an email. Or maybe that they'll bump into you, or somehow the two of you will connect in a way that will actually shoot this very quickly into the direction of being back together intimately in a loving way. And I feel that the two of you really have this connection, that this has the capacity or the ability to head in that particular direction. I pulled one of these cards for you. This is Healing Family Issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Now, it's really interesting that I've actually pulled that card, because we come back up here to the Empress and the Ten of Wands, and it comes back to this idea of either a mother figure or a parental figure, perhaps, that might be getting in the way of this, or having something to say about what this is all about. Maybe they have your ear. Maybe they have really strong expectations in terms of what they want for you, which in part is something that you now impose on other people in terms of expecting them to live up to certain expectations according to your values, which have been passed on to you. Your love life begins as you forgive your parents. I think that there is some resolution that needs to take place here at a really core level in terms of your upbringing and what you're expecting. Okay? Maybe it's time just to go with the flow on this. At the end of the day, I don't feel that this person is asking for much more other than a sign as to how it is that you really feel about them, and so they've taken matters into their own hands in a way where they've kind of cut you out of the picture in a very reactive way, in a very cold and very clinical way. Really, all they're looking for is a lifeline, just to give them a sign as to which way things are heading and whether it has the potential to move in a direction that is really worth waiting for. I hope this reading has made some sense to you, and if it has, please feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for future readings that I post. If you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is that you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. And just on a final note, I release videos each and every week to YouTube, so feel free to browse the ones that are already posted and keep an eye out for those on the horizon. Thanks very much. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 3. This is your reading, and today we are looking at what the other person thinks of you. So we've got the cards on the table and we're ready to jump straight into it. Let's just go for it. I'm going to be starting here at the Magician and the Two of Swords. This is somebody who really wants to initiate the next level with you. They're really keen to kind of take things forward in a way where they can just be really honest with you about what they feel and what they want with you. The Magician is all about motivation and opportunity. It's about taking control of the situation in some ways, but it's more about seeing an opportunity and kind of going with a very natural flow. So they see this as enormous potential to kind of put everything on the table and to really just be very honest and upfront about where they see this being able, as being able to go. But it's coupled with the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords is a card of denial or being blocked by issues that are at hand, So they might feel this way. They might feel the kind of the thrust, the forward potential to be able to take things to the next level, but they feel that they've been blocked by you in some way. This person thinks that you are incredibly sensitive, that you have a lot of healing energy within you. The Star and the King of Cups very much are about caring and focusing on other people and using sensitivity and love and nurturing to really help people to get to where they need to be. So they see some really beautiful things in you as a person. They see quite deeply into your soul in a way. I mean, they really do get you as a person, in a way where they appreciate the qualities that you have as a person. I really feel that this person thinks that you are not letting them in. And there's a good reason for that. I think they see that you still have really strong, heartfelt feelings for somebody else, that you're in love with somebody who really, you're holding like a burning flame for, and, that you're not able to really focus in on them in a way where you can let them into your life to really connect at that same level. So I think they also see that you're somebody that doesn't really feel so comfortable about showing your emotions, and that, a part of you is quite reserved and not wanting to really give everything away in terms of what it is that you really want. I think they also think that you're quite uncomfortable about getting close to them. And, for the reasons that I've already mentioned, that you perhaps are focused on somebody else at this time. So your priorities are really very different. Coming over here to the Sun and the Queen of Cups, they think that you're an amazingly nurturing person when it comes to kids. That you really have a strong focus around, maybe working with children or being really good with children in a way that gives them what it is that they need. So there's very, very sort of strong focus on nurturing once again, and I think for me, maybe that means that for some of you, you have children, and maybe this is a priority for you, that it comes above and beyond the idea of a potential connection with somebody in terms of a relationship. And coming down here to the Emperor and the Page of Cups, this person is really keen on you in a way where they really want to initiate an opportunity that is about getting to know each other. So they've been very flirtatious. They're really putting it out there in a way that's really quite obvious. The Emperor is definitely an ambitious card, very, very driven and determined to get what it wants. And the Page of Cups is certainly a card of love and the idea of initiating an opportunity that actually takes things to the next level. So they're really putting it out there and trying to get your attention in a way where you can see who it is that they are, but they feel that you are really focused on other things at the moment. I think a part of what it is that I'm also seeing here is that this person is really wanting to have kids. Maybe for some of you, this person already has a child. The Emperor is the father of tarot, and so this could be like a strong father figure or a strong masculine nurturing energy who has a child. The Page of Cups is a child also in tarot, and they can see that you are really amazing with kids in a way where you have just a very natural way with yourself in terms of giving kids what it is that they need to really to thrive and to feel happy. They see so much positivity in you as a person. That's the thing that really strikes me about this particular reading, is that there's no negativity whatsoever. You know, they really see you in a very clear light that is very loving and very positive, and they really want to be a part of your world, but they understand that you have other priorities that really are pretty much eliminating them from being able to be a part of the picture. But they are very motivated, and the Magician and the Emperor, I mean, these are really strong energies. They're very motivated, very ambitious energies. They're very forceful in their nature, but they're very pulled back at the same time, because once again, the Two of Swords is a block or a blockage. This person knows they can't take it forward. The Emperor and the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is in its infancy in terms of the idea of getting to know you, but they really want to be around you, to get to know you, to put it out there in a way where they're being really flirtatious, as I mentioned before. Coming over here to the Hermit and the Eight of Pentacles, and you know, they once again, this kind of rebuilds on what it is that I've already suggested. You know, that you're not moving on from this situation where you seem to be really preoccupied, maybe with somebody else or with other priorities in terms of what you want in your life. And that you're not prepared to let go. You know, if you are holding on to somebody who's still very much a part of your past and you are still really in love with that person, you know, they think that you're just not going to let go. The Hermit is all about hanging on to something from the past. You know, it always points back to the past. And, you know, the Eight of Pentacles, it's certainly a card that is about making progress, but it's slow progress, and it's sort of one step at a time. So you're not moving forward anytime soon towards this person's hopes or dreams and desires. And if you come down here to the High Priestess and the Ten of Wands, you know, they feel very deflated about the lack of opportunity or manifestation of what is it they really would like with you in terms of their future. The High Priestess is a card of the future. It's about you know, working towards something that will become clearer in terms of manifesting, you know, your desires. And the Ten of Swords is a card of defeat, you know, so you know, like you know, their hopes are dashed about what they really want for the future with you. I think the sense is for them, though, if coming back up here to the Hermit and the Eight of Pentacles, they realize that, you know, it's just going to take way too long for you to ever either let go or get over what it is that has happened in the past, or that you will basically hold your ground and wait to see what will actually happen with this other person, as a consequence to the potential of maybe moving forward with what it is that you once had with them. So I don't feel that this is going anywhere. And I've drawn another card here which says, release your ex, the time has come to clear your energy. It's a really interesting card to have drawn. I think if for some of you, right, and I do feel that this is actually a very strong feature of this particular reading, the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups, you know, these are really highly evolved cards in terms of relationship connections. And I feel that, you know, you and this other person still have something very strongly linked in terms of your bond. And, you know, I'm talking about this person from the past as opposed to the person that we're talking about here and what they think of you. And for me, if you are seeing somebody else at this time, you know, what's the point in even really entertaining the idea when you haven't released the person who you really love from your past? You know, it's a make or break time. You're either on board moving forward into the future and, flirting with somebody else in terms of the potential to have a relationship because you're ready and available, or you're not, and you are either in the process of letting go of the person who you are still very much in love with, or you're trying to get back together with them in a way where you reestablish that particular connection. So if what you're wanting is to be with somebody in the future that is new, it's time to release the ex. Yeah? This is a make or break moment where you really need to get clear about what you want. The time has come to clear your energy. Clearing the energy is about getting clear about what you want. You need to be definitive. You need to put things into place in terms of the context of, is the person that you're in love with from the past still in your present, or are they now in your past? So I don't feel that this connection is really going anywhere. I think this person is very motivated, but they can see that all the signs are saying you don't really want them in your life in that capacity. I think that they have a lot of features, a lot of qualities that would be really suited to you, but your heart lies elsewhere. So it's time to make some decisions about what you're doing in terms of that pathway. I hope this reading has made some sense to you, and if it has, please leave some comments down below. It would be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Subscribe to my channel. Tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for future readings that I post. If you are interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. Plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is that you can access my service. And on a final note, I release videos each and every week to YouTube, so feel free to browse the ones that are already posted and keep an eye out for those up and coming. Thanks very much. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 4. This is your reading, and today we are looking at what the other person thinks of you, and we've got the cards on the table and we're ready to go. So let's jump straight in. Now I'm drawn up here to the Page of Pentacles and Strengths. Now this person thinks that you're really straightforward and very easygoing in a way where it's a bit more like what you see is what you get. I think they think that you're uncomplicated in that sense, that they can make sense of you in a way where you seem really engaged with people in a very genuine way. Strength is a card of passion and, of quite intense feeling. Also, the Page of Pentacles is really about trying to understand things. It can be about money to some degree. It also can be about study. But it's a card that's very interested to understand how it is that things work. And so they see you as being somebody who is very passionate with people in a way where you really genuinely try to understand what it is that they are interested in. So you're not self-absorbed in as far as they can see. They also see that you are somebody who has everything really mapped out. I'm wondering if for some of you, you've actually just done a course of study that you feel really passionate about, and that's really the sort of trajectory of your world at the moment. That's really where you're trying to map things out in terms of the places that you want to go, the things that you want to do are really based on this idea of what you've studied. They also think that you're very good with money. The Page of Pentacles is a card of money, that you're really good with figuring out how things work at a financial level as well as an academic level. That you make sense of things in a very practical way. They love this. They think this is really refreshing. So there's definitely a sense that you're really straightforward, very easy to get along with, that you're going places. That if you have studied, you certainly seem very motivated about what it is that you're doing. They definitely think that you're an intelligent person, and I think they're very comfortable with you. What I'm getting here is that this is quite a fresh connection. I don't feel like this has a long-standing, history. For me, I feel this is either really recent, or the two of you have known each other for a while, but you just haven't known each other that well. If I come down here to the Devil and the Two of Swords, this indicates to me that this person is actually with somebody at this point in time. They can't And if they're not with somebody, they definitely can't move forward in the idea, in terms of the idea of a relationship or expanding on the connection with you at a more sort of intimate level. The Devil is definitely a card of intimate relationships that are troubled and have difficulties. And the Two of Swords is a card that's blocked. My strong feeling is that for a lot of you here, that this is about somebody who is in a difficult relationship that's not going anywhere. It's a dead-end relationship, and there are issues that need to be resolved, and that this person can't move forward at this point in time. Coming over here to the Fool and the Page of Cups, this is more about the impression that you give to them at an emotional level. I think they definitely find you really attractive. This is somebody who sees you as being very expressive in terms of your personality, that you're very individualistic, that you have a uniqueness about you. You're not like the rest as far as they are concerned. You're somebody who does things your own way. And there's something quite unrestricted about your nature. I think you say what you see, and you're not afraid to kind of just be yourself in a way where you don't take on, the drama of other people, and they love this. This person thinks that you are so refreshing and really attracted to you. They are a bit worried about whether or not you are interested in them in terms of, this kind of going somewhere. The Fool is definitely a card of individuality. It's also a card of new beginnings, and there's an aloofness about it. Yeah, the Fool doesn't take it all on, it's quite unrestricted. It doesn't want to get bogged down in detail. It doesn't want to get bogged down in responsibility. It just wants to be in the moment. It's all about inspiration with the Fool. And the Page of Cups is a really beautifully expressive card that is really reflective of a vibrant personality that really loves to be with people and really knows how to express itself articulately and knows how to have fun. I think that's the big thing that this person sees. You're somebody who likes to have fun. They love that you don't get caught up in all the drama. Page of Cups is definitely a card of flirtation. They think that you are very flirtatious, but it's also a card that is expressive of the idea of love, and it's about opportunity. So on one hand, you're being a bit kind of too cool for school, not really getting caught up in the idea of where this could go with this person. And on the other hand, you're also giving them definite signs that you're interested in them, and that, you have a good feeling of potential as to where this could potentially go. So for me, there's a lot of really, I guess, constructive stuff here. They also love your style. Yeah. Both the Page of Cups and the Fool have style. They are expressive. They know where they're at in the moment. They don't have to think about it. They're just doing it. And there is a definite confidence in that kind of, I guess, inspiration of who it is that they are. But coming down here to the Star and the Ten of Swords, this person isn't able to move forward right now. They've got a lot going on in their world. And it's not just about what might be happening in a relationship. I feel they've had a number of things that seem to have been going wrong. I wonder whether they've had some problems with their health. Maybe they haven't been feeling so great, or there's, the Star is definitely a card of health. The Ten of Swords is a card that really indicates, there's a lot of drama going on in their life. I mean, this is one of the most dramatic cards in the tarot deck, So I think they're dealing with a lot that's going on, maybe with their health, but definitely around what's been going on in their world, either with a relationship or a lot of other things that just seem to be kind of flaring up and coming up at a point where they're not able to really focus beyond what's in front of them. So, they're very limited to what they can actually commit to at this point in time. But the thing about the Ten of Swords is that even though, there's a sense of betrayal about what's going on in this card, of being stabbed in the back, or that things are defeating you, it's kind of gotten as worse as it's going to get. And, there's a dawn sort of, rising up in the distance. So, good things are set to come. And I think this person knows that in the not too distant future, just around the corner, they will be able to just sort of focus on things like the idea of maybe having a relationship or maybe getting to know you better. That they'll have the freedom to do that, essentially, is what my sense is. Coming over here to Temperance and the Six of Wands, these two cards are really expressive of a connection that's going on between the two of you. Temperance is a very spiritual card. The two cups are very symbolic of individuals coming together, two individuals coming together with a reciprocated flow that really is beautifully balanced. And in a way where things just are very easygoing and very natural, but also at the same time quite innately connected at a much deeper spiritual level. So I think the two of you really do have a very strong connection. This is somebody who wants to succeed in terms of getting together with you at some point. The Six of Wands is all about success. Often it's around the idea of being able to be to gain acknowledgement as well of your success. I think this is somebody who wants to be out in the open with you, to show people that you're together. At the moment, they can't do that. I don't feel that they can do that at all. But I think this is something they would really like to work towards, that they feel very much that, in the not too distant future, that this is something that could come to fruition. And they definitely identify a strong connection here with you in a way where they want to be with you and they want to show that very outwardly to the world. The one thing I felt was that they also think that you might be doing some traveling, or that your job might take you away from where it is that you are. I think they have some concerns about that. Temperance is a card of travel. It's about going to new places. The Six of Wands is a card of success in terms of job applications and the direction of your career. So I feel this is somebody who is worried perhaps that you're going in a direction with your work and it might take you away from where it is that they are in some context, sorry, in some form. But at the same time, if I come down here to the Emperor and the Eight of Pentacles, I don't feel that this is a person who's going to give up on getting to know you more or taking things to the next step. Yeah. The Emperor is all about persistence. It's an ambitious card that wants to achieve results. It is really quite systematic in the way that it actually does that as well, because it is very raw ambition. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of taking one thing at a time, step by step, but also making progress in a very, very practical way. And I think this person has that sort of ability to focus really practically on things, but it also shows me that this is somebody who is going to play the long-term game, the big picture game. They're not in this to win this now. They're looking at where this is going for the long term. And I think they're quite paced in terms of wanting to just kind of take this one step at the time to show you really that they really are serious about wanting to kind of get to know you and to show you that they mean business in a really steady, non-confrontational way that, slowly but surely establishes a connection to you and actually moves in a direction that is really about success. So this is somebody who really likes you. I think, wherever they are at this point in time, whatever it is that they're doing, and they do seem to have a lot on their plate. Yeah, they've got a lot to deal with. They're very preoccupied with that, but they can see you. They know who you are. They think really good things about you. They think very positively of you. They're very attracted to you. They're taking the signs that you're giving them in a way where they feel that, that you are very interested in them. They have a great deal of respect for you as a person. They love the real practical, down-to-earth nature of who it is that you are. They feel comfortable with you. They want to be with you in a successful way that really brings you together in the long term. So this is somebody who is really about slow and steady wins the race. I like this person. And I think that you have a real strong attraction there to them as well. And I think that they've been very respectful of everything that's going on in a way where they're prepared to do what is right, according to everybody, and making sure that, they don't rush this. So let's see how this goes. I hope this has made some sense to you. And if it has, please feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. If you would like to subscribe to my station, that'd be great. So do that and tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. If you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is that you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. And on a final note, I release videos each and every week to YouTube, so feel free to browse the ones that I've already posted and keep an eye out for those on the horizon in the coming weeks. Take care and thank you. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 5. This is your reading, and today we are looking at how the other person thinks about you. Cards are on the table, ready to jump straight into it. So let's start up here with the Devil and the Knight of Swords, and I feel this person thinks that you're obviously really, really angry at them and that you've been lashing out to them in a way where you blame them for something that's happened. They think that you're very frustrated with them and that you're not prepared to let it go. Whatever it is that's happened has caused you to feel very upset and very reactive to them in a way where you think that the relationship is not going anywhere. I felt this was relationship orientated. I mean, the Devil is definitely a card of intimate relationships, usually comes up when it's sort of indicated around limitations and obstacles that really are not allowing things to develop in a more loving and enlightening way. So there's a lot of anger and a lot of frustration, but they really definitely feel that you really blame them about what's going on. And I think for them, they also think that, you're looking maybe to get back at them in some way, and that you're just not going to let this go. I think that's the main thing. If I come down here to Justice and the 5 of Cups, this person is definitely at a point where they're trying to make very rational decisions about what it is that's going on between the two of you. They're really putting things into perspective. They are looking very honestly at whatever this is. I get a sense that this is some sort of a dispute, maybe a big argument, or certainly an obstacle in terms of where things are going, about the direction between the two of you. And they're very consumed by that, and they're really trying to piece things together in a way where they're looking to the past and trying to dissect what it is that's happened, and they're wanting to really get things into balance in a way where this can be sort of honestly, they want resolution. They feel that things can move forwards in a way where this can be rekindled. But there's no doubt that they're feeling very upset about what it is that's happened. There's a high degree of grief there. The 5 of Cups is all about grief and disappointment and feeling that you've been really let down, or the situation has really let you down. The Justice card is definitely a card of trying to get a fair understanding as to what it is that's happened. So they're looking at both sides of the coin. I think they're being very non-reactive about this, but they do feel that there is scope to kind of move forwards in a way where this could perhaps be resolved. Coming over here to Death and the King of Swords, I think this is kind of really the center of the gravity of the reading for me, is because they're looking at you and they think that you are going to end this, that you're not prepared to listen to anything it is that they have to say about what it is that's going on. They're very worried about the idea that you'll blame them, and that you'll hold some sort of almost like a vendetta against them. I think they think that you're going to react, beyond your initial frustration and this sort of like, very angry, reactive, I guess, sort of starting point as to what it is that's gone on, and then that you'll sort of settle down and that you'll really begin to sort of think, I've had enough, and that I want to get out of this. I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore, that you'll cut them out of the picture, and that you'll be very cold about that. And that not only would you blame them, that perhaps that you'd even try to sort of get them back in some way. I really also felt that maybe they thought that you were, thinking that, you would cast a very different picture that would really put the blame on them in a way where it somehow tainted their image, to other people. So maybe telling other people, friends or colleagues or family, in a way that sort of shed them in a very sort of negative light. They think that you're an incredibly intelligent person, very articulate, but also that you're a no-nonsense type of person, that you won't make compromises on certain things that you just don't believe, that you should really. They understand that you're a person who stands in your own rights, and when I say that, it's like, once you've made your mind up on something, there's really no pushing you one way or the other, like that's it. It's kind of very iron cast, very no nonsense, very straightforward, very black and white in terms of making up your mind, and you don't compromise on anything that you don't believe. You think that you really have to. So I think they have a degree of fear about you as a person. I think that they see a side of you that can be angry, that can be reactive, but also that can be very cold. And I think they're very worried about the fact that that you might just draw a line in the sand and move on in a way that will be kind of really brutal to them. Because if I come down here to the Magician and the Three of Cups, they really want to take this forward. Yeah, they really want to initiate. It's not about a new beginning, but they just really want to seize this as an opportunity to make good. Three of Cups is really about feeling good. I think they really feel that there's been a lot of work between the two of you in terms of getting to this particular point, and that there are rewards up ahead if you persist on sort of trying to give this a go. The Magician is really about striking things into action and using everything that you have in order to make it work. And I think that they so they really want to sort of really invest everything that you both have in trying to restart this in a way where there's a reward that will really make up for what it is that's happened. And it kind of falls in line with how they really feel deep down, because they feel a really strong connection to you in a way where, although they feel really disappointed about what it is that's happened, that they feel that there is capacity there to resolve what's going on. But coming over here to the Hierophant and the Eight of Cups, they think that you're going to end up to sort of feel nothing for them. That you'll move on and perhaps meet somebody else, and that they'll miss the opportunity to make the real commitment that they want to make with you. I think they think that you don't want to make the sort of ultimate commitment. The Hierophant is all about the church and marriage and formal commitments. It's all about contracts. So in the context of a relationship, this is really about tying the knot in a very sort of formal way. And so they think that you are going to move on in a way where you will feel nothing for them anymore, and that essentially you'll look elsewhere for that type of commitment. And that death is about endings linked to new beginnings, and the King of Swords is really the master of really sort of taking control of a situation. And so they do think that you have what it takes to really make the call here in terms of ending it, based on all of the frustrations that you've been feeling in terms of whatever it is that's happened between the two of you. That you're not going to be prepared to resolve this, and that you're going to really stay in your head about this. The swords are all about your mental faculties. It's about the thoughts that you're having, but it's very divorced from feeling. This person's very much in the feeling aspect. You're very much in the headspace. You know, 3 of Cups here, 5 of Cups over here, you know, lots of disappointment, but a sense of resolution, wanting to be happy with you because they feel really good around you. Justice, you know, prepared to sort of look at this in a very, you know, fair way that, you know, sees both sides of the coin. Magician is very much about motivation to want to be with you in a way where, you know, there's really positive outcomes. But you, on the other hand, are kind of, you know, like heading in a very different direction in terms of lots of frustration, feeling really hurt. I think feeling really vulnerable about this person and maybe about what it is that's happened, to the point where I think, you know, you would be prepared just to kind of move on. I don't think that this person is going to just let this go, okay? The Hangman and the Page of Pentacles. The Hangman is all about hanging on, looking at things from different sides, new perspectives, but it's also about creative ways to move forwards. This person understands maybe that they'll need to make a sacrifice in order to move forwards with you, or to capture your attention in a way that's much more creative in terms of securing your confidence in them. The Page of Pentacles is a card of new beginnings, but it's a card that also suggests, excuse me, it's a card that also suggests plans, you know, facts and figures. It's an opportunity based on really mapping things out, you know, that it's putting down a plan of action really to take things forward in a way where, coupled here with the Hangman, it's, you know, about a creative perspective to map out a plan for the future that actually suggests that you can navigate what's going on here. I think this person's going to come back to you in a way where, you know, they will remain hopeful and they will hang on to the hope that you will see things perhaps from their perspective, that you will understand that there is the potential for a secure future in terms of looking at things from a very different angle. Now, I've drawn here a different card, forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. I think this is really bang on in terms of what I'm seeing here. You know, you're holding a lot of pain, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. I do get a sense that there is some blame there. And I think that the thing is that the two of you both have something to answer for here. It takes two to tango. This person, I feel that this person actually has a lot of love for you. This person has a lot of disappointment as well as to what it is that's gone on. But they really want to get over this hurdle, and they want to resolve this in a way that moves very creatively into the future and maps out a very secure pathway in a way that, you know, the two of you can be on the same page. And I think at the moment, you know, you're sort of very caught up and consumed by how you feel that, you know, you've been wronged. And, you know, I think that would be cutting off your nose despite your face. Forgiving and learning is a really big part of everybody's process in terms of a relationship and the potential of a relationship. For me, I feel that there is something here about this person that really suggests truth and honesty. And I think that's your biggest worry is whether you can trust them. Yeah, King of Swords really doesn't trust anybody. Knight of Swords, very frustrated, especially around ideas of trust. And there's a lot of vulnerability in the Swords. I think this person's come close to something or done, you know, something's happened here that's really left you reeling in terms of whether you can actually really rely on them, whether you can really trust them. I feel you can, but this is really up to you to make that decision. And the only way you're going to figure that out is actually to come back into the heart space. At the moment, you're really in your head about this. You need to be in your heart. You need to feel this through. You need to feel how you really feel about this person. Yeah, walking away is not the answer. Forgiving and learning is the way forward. Test it out, see how you feel. Yeah. Once you know how you feel, then you'll really have the answers. But just cutting off your nose despite your face based on a whole lot of decision-making processes that are about your rationale, that's not going to get you anywhere. Hope this reading has made some sense to you. And if it has, please feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get that. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. If you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is that you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. And on a final note, I release videos each and every week to YouTube, so watch out for those and have a browse of the ones that are already posted. Take care. Thank you.